Okay, today I'm doing a video about what to do when you're feeling emotions in recovery, or sadness, or anger, or just essentially like any emotion you've had in the past that will take away your appetite and make you just feel like, I can't eat, I cannot eat. I remember feeling like when I was still very much in my eating disorder, like I would pretty much look for any emotion that I was having to be like, I can't eat, I can't eat, I can't eat. If I was really excited, it would even be like, oh, I'm just so excited, I don't even need food. And if I was really angry, I'm like, I'm so mad at that person, I'm gonna show them by not eating. Like everything was somehow like an excuse and a reason why I felt like I didn't need to eat or couldn't eat. And I just like got really good at turning that hunger off when I felt things. Yesterday, however, I had a day. Well, let me preface this with I'm on my period. And so I feel like, even more so than normal months, I feel like extremely sensitive. Like things that don't typically affect me or get to me are really affecting me. And I'm like internalizing everything. And it's like, I'm a horrible person. I'm a horrible wife. I'm a bad mom. I'm this. And it's just like, it's a lot. So yesterday is kind of like one of those days where it just hit. And especially, so the thing that caused me to feel particularly sad yesterday was my husband has been very stressed at work. And when he gets stressed at work, he kind of gets more distant or closed off. And I'm someone that likes to talk, shocker, but I'm someone who likes to talk and connect and like talk about our days. And sometimes it's just, I can tell when he's a little bit more short and kind of more in his own head. And I just have been feeling like the last couple of weeks he's felt that way. And yesterday, I'm like really making an effort to try to talk to him and have him open up about what he's going through at work and all this stuff. And he just kind of kept pushing me away. And I just was like, there's something wrong with me. Like maybe he's mad at me about something. Maybe he's bugged with me. Maybe I don't know. I just was feeling really sensitive and sad. And I was like, I hung up the phone with him after like feeling just frustrated about the situation, and was like filling up my gas tank. And I was at a gas station. I was like, this place has really good apple fritters. And I just went in and got an apple fritter and was eating it. And as I was eating it, I was thinking, this would not have happened before recovery. What would have happened, though, I can tell you with certainty, is I would have hung up the phone, felt mad and sad and frustrated, and probably not eaten the rest of that day, and made a scene at dinner to prove to him that I'm not eating because I'm mad and he has to change his behavior before I can eat. And it was very manipulative. And at the time, I didn't think that's how it was. I didn't see it as a problem. I didn't really understand fully what I was doing. But looking back now, that is definitely something that I did in my eating disorder. Was I would almost manipulate people or get attention from people by restricting. And I was eating that apple fritter and just feeling so grateful that like the thought didn't even cross my mind. It wasn't like, oh, an apple fritter sounds good, but I'm mad. Like that didn't happen until as I was eating it and I was kind of still thinking about our conversation, that I was like, that's so great that those two things aren't linked anymore. Maybe I was craving the apple fritter because I was sad. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it's because I was filling up my gas tank and it was there. But the interesting thing about this is that later that night, another experience happened. Yesterday was a rough day. I was starting to feel a little bit better. And then sorry, this is more so me just rambling, and I'll get to my point here. So sorry for the for the basically me just pouring out yesterday's emotions on you, but I'll get to my point. So last night, my daughters got home from basketball practice and I had made dinner, and it was like an Italian chicken. It's like Italian dressing and cream cheese in the crock pot. Some of you may be familiar with it. It's really good. It's quite good. And I made it last week, and my daughter had requested that I make it again this week. And so it was a good crock pot kind of meal yesterday with kids having practice and whatnot. And she comes home from practice and walks in and goes, not to be rude, but you make the same thing every night for dinner. And I was like, normally I would have been like, you little brat, go to your room. You're not eating dinner tonight, or you can eat your dinner in your room, or I just would have blown it off or been like, that was rude, something, I don't know. But instead I just like got really quiet and I just walked into the study and pouted. And I was like, I'm not going to join you guys for dinner. I'll eat when you're done. I was just really hurt by it. Really, really, really hurt by it. Did I then feel like I had to then go and like suddenly was I craving an apple fritter again? No, I wasn't. Was I not going to eat dinner with them because I was trying to prove my point that I'm not eating with them? No, I just didn't want to be around my family. I didn't want to be around my daughter who was saying such rude things. And so I guess my point is like, you can have emotions once you get to a place where you've pushed out all your eating disorder rules and you've gotten to a good place in recovery. You can have emotions where sometimes you may emotionally eat. It may not be emotional eating. It may just be that you're craving that thing. And sometimes you might have strong emotions, and it may be that you don't emotionally eat. It may be that you cope in other ways, like you go and pout in the study, right? And start crying and tell your daughter that that really hurt your feelings. You're going to react different ways. Sometimes it'll be emotionally, sometimes it'll be other ways. You don't need to fear when you're in recovery and you're forcing yourself to eat food when you're feeling emotions and you don't want to. You don't need to worry that you're developing bad habits, that you're developing emotional eating. You're not. Okay? You're not. I feel like the only people that worry about having emotional eating are the people who make it a big deal. The people who are, let's say yesterday I still did struggle with my eating disorder and I ate the apple fritter. I was like, I'm out of control. I can't believe I just ate that. What am I doing in the middle of the day? It's because I'm emotionally eating. And then I just would have like made this big disaster out of it, made it this big, huge deal, and then probably gone and felt like just completely out of control and it's going to binge my face off, because that's not what happened. And that's not what happens with people who eat when they're feeling certain emotions that don't make a big deal out of it. It's just like, I need a little comfort food right now, and they move on. So I don't know what my message in this video really is. Like, if you're in recovery, you're going to have to force yourself. You're going to have to actively identify when you're feeling these emotions that you typically wouldn't have eaten, and you're going to have to force yourself to eat anyways. And then moving forward, you can go in with confidence, knowing that you're not developing an emotional eating problem, that you will be able to when you have emotions once you're fully recovered. Sometimes you'll eat when you're feeling those strong emotions, and sometimes you won't feel like eating when you have those strong emotions, but it's not going to be some problem that you're developing. And this also goes along with like people that are eating tons of food in recovery and they're afraid they're developing binge eating disorder, right? That's for another day, but that's also something that people worry about. What you need to focus on is healing your relationship with food, body, and exercise. And when you're having strong emotions that you typically would not have eaten, when you're in recovery, you have to eat anyways. It's called force feeding yourself, and everything will work out in the end. Okay? So that's my message to you today. And sorry for listening to my big, long, sad, sorry saga. Feeling much better today. My daughter and my husband are being much kinder to me. I think they realize that mom's a little sensitive and they need to be a little nicer. And hopefully my period will be over soon. So, all right, have a good day. Bye.